Am I pretty enough? What can I do to look more like the models on magazines and in commercials? Why don't I look like the models? Media can change the outlook of younger children's look on life and the effect on what is advertised through television, magazines, and the internet. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, AAP, children are influenced by media. They learn by observing, imitating, and making behaviors of their own. I will discuss 3 main points on the negative influences that media has on children, solutions of how media, parents, and the government can be involved to control what's advertised, and a vision of the future to limit these effects. First, I will discuss the negative effects the media strongly has on the impact of children today and how it's changed throughout the past years. According to a web page, Hub Pages, in the last 50 years, the media influence has grown with the newly advanced technology, from telegraphs to radios to newspapers, magazines, television shows, and now the internet. Television, movies, and music show how children imitate the actions of what they see or hear from their role models and are not able to differentiate the reality from fiction of what they're seeing. In some cases, for example, when children carry guns to school, it has been linked to that these children have been around or have played violent video games. According to Helium.com, research by a University of Washington professor Brandon Centerwall has linked violent media to a largely influencing the half of the crime rate in America. Amongst children and teenagers at this stage in one's life, everyone has peer pressure to be accepted. The media has a strong impact on children and teens of what they view as the idolized beautiful woman or male, and what one characteristic and body weight should be to be accepted or to be cool. With all of the advertisements the media portrays, they make billions of dollars of what they advertise and sell, and there are things that we're all exposed to. Over the past years, anorexia and obesity have plagued young people. With many of the youngsters that are fighting with obesity and anorexia, there are still millions of advertisements for junk food, the idolized beautiful woman, and male, the use of super thin models and super thin celebrities, even though they engage in eating disorders. They have serious health issues, and they are verge on possible death. Now, knowing the negative effects of how media influences children, here are some solutions that can be taken into consideration to limit the negative effects. With negative influences upon media, with the children in America, there needs to be something done to help limit the impact that it has on our youth. Parents should be more involved in what their children are viewing. They should limit television time to 2 hours a day. They should encourage more physical activity, at least 30 minutes a day. In reference to Squideo.com, excessive television viewing can result in weight gain, poor fitness level. And it should be more stimulated that children should invest their time in reading, studying, engaging in more social activities like basketball, baseball, anything that involves them getting outside, instead of being glued to the television all day. With more exposure to what's advertised by the media, which may be things that they do not need to see, or they don't need to know at a certain age. The government should also take some part in what should and should not be advertised on TV. There needs to be more awareness with the negative role that the media plays, and the government should intervene to stop what is watched by our children in order to decrease the negative effects and regulate what is being advertised publicly. Not only should parents and the government take part in the awareness by the media, but the media itself. The media needs to not advertise what they think is acceptable, but what they know is acceptable, and not what they can get money off of. Taking that into consideration, there are some solutions that I can see happening in the future to make everything just a little bit better. Through possible solutions that I have for the future, the media can be turned into something more than a negative impact that it has on children, and more of an open range of ideas and things children and people can be exposed to in a positive way than to what they think has to be accepted to fit into society. 1, there should be more advertisements subjected to what children are exposed to. There should be more advertisements showing what the real human body looks like. not what is photoshopped, not what is completely altered by the media. And second, the government and the media should take part in what's being advertised. They should censor TV shows. They should make sure that parents aren't buying video games for their kids when they're too young. Today I spoke to you about the awareness of media and the negative effect it has on children. As though this problem cannot be changed immediately, with enough effort and awareness and complaints to what children are exposed to, we ourselves can start by monitoring what our younger siblings are exposed to. Media has a strong impact on what children are set to believe through all types of media. As I spoke about the negative influences of media on children, solutions of how media, parents, and the government can be involved to control what's advertised, and a vision of the future to limit these effects to bring awareness. I stand here to ask you to bring awareness to change what our younger siblings and future children are exposed to publicly.